Hello, and welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise, and thank you all for tuning into the show tonight. So I'm not sure how big of a group we're going to have because Facebook decided to throw me in jail and made it so that I couldn't really post about this event and remind people. So who knows? But hey, it might be good, might not be good. In any case, we're going to have a great topic tonight. So this evening, I want to talk about those people that we all know that are self-centered and attention-seeking. Yes, I'm talking about the narcissists of the world. So the word narcissism has really come into awareness over the last, 10 years, maybe not even that much. And I think people are getting more and more of an idea of what these people are like and, how they act and stuff like that. But I wanted to kind of take it to a little bit deeper level and talk about kind of where they come from, some of their behaviors. If you're unaware, I wrote an entire book on this topic called The Dysfunctional Dance of the Empath and Narcissist, which is available online or at my webpage, soulhealer.com. But anyway, so people that are narcissists, let's start here. So each of us operate our lives based on a certain core belief, a foundational core belief. And there are 5 or 6 different ones. And one of them is the core belief of entitlement. And entitlement says, if I want this, then I'm entitled to have it. And anyone that lives with a self-centered personality or is narcissistic, they have this entitlement core belief. Now I'm going to share a story. I mean, not my story, but a story, and I think you'll understand where this comes from. So think about, you go to the mall or a restaurant or whatever, and there's the mother and she has her young child, and the child wants the cookies that are on the shelf, and the mother says no, and the child sits down and has a hissy fit right there and won't stop. And eventually the mother gives in to the child to placate him, to get him to stop. That kind of behavior, that kind of training is part of what formulates this entitlement behavior in these self-centered people, because they think, well, this is what I want. I want those cookies that are on the shelf. And I will torment you in a number of different ways until I get what I want. And, depending on, narcissism, like anything else, is on a scale. And we all have a certain amount of narcissistic qualities within ourselves. There are things that we want and we'll hold out for them. But, people that tend to be more self-centered, move further down that line. And then there are people that have what's called narcissistic personality disorder, which is actually a psychological disorder that people can have. And they're on the very far end of the spectrum. But in general, those individuals really lack empathy. They can't feel what other people feel. Now, they can fake it. And what's interesting is they can feel their own feelings, which is usually like shame or pain or some kind of hurt that they're covering over. But as far as seeing your pain or experiencing your pain, they can't do it. So I've had a lot of narcissistic boyfriends, and so I have like tons of stories I could share. Like this one guy, he would cry And when he would have certain interactions, he would cry. Like there was this little kid that lived around the block, and we let him cut through our yard because it backs up to a pretty major road, and we prefer that they just walk through the yard as opposed to going down on that highway. I was fine with it. But whenever he would interact with this kid, he would kind of get upset and cry. And I finally came to realize that that feeling, which I thought was empathy for him, the family didn't have a lot of money, blah, 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 was really him experiencing his pain because he could relate to that little kid and that little kid's situation. And it had nothing to do with the little kid at all, at all. But anyway, so going back to the cookie story, so one of the things that self-centered people and narcissists do is they like to control and manipulate situations in order to get their way, which I already said. And they have all kinds of tools that they will use in order to make that happen. And I'm just going to kind of bring up a couple of them. They'll lie to you. They'll just make up some flat ass lie about why they need something or why you should help them or whatever it is, but it's a flat lie. They might use anger to intimidate you into backing down and going against necessarily your own moral compass in order to get you to comply. Another one they'll do is they'll use guilt. They'll tell you a story about how in the past this always happened to them, and you won't do that to them, right? Or whatever that would be. And I think everyone has met a narcissist at one point in time or another, and there are basically two different kinds. There's the overt narcissist. I like to think of the high school or college quarterback that has that ooh rah rah, I'm great, I'm the quarterback, I'm good looking kind of energy that they run around with for forever. And they can be a very overt narcissist, and sometimes they're really easy. The overt ones are really easy to spot. Where the issue comes in is the covert ones, because I don't think that they're intentionally tricky, and I don't think that they intentionally try to hide their crap, but they do. And so they might walk around and have this victim energy so that you feel sorry for them. Or they might walk around and just be really negative all the time. Some of the best covert narcissists are the people that you meet that just seem so wonderful. And this is kind of an old story, but I think everybody listening, I'm hoping, knows who Bing Crosby is. He was in a lot of movies, and people thought that he was just a very righteous guy and a very kind man. But apparently he used to beat his children. And you hear that, and I don't want to point my finger, about pastors, that their congregation loves them, because they put on this show about, oh, I love you and kumbaya and it's all great. And as soon as the spotlight, because that's what they want is attention, as soon as the spotlight is off of them, they just become really nasty people, covert narcissists. And so for some people, it can be really challenging because you might be in a relationship with one of these, or you might have a friend who's in a relationship with a covert narcissist and she's telling you this stuff. And all you see is this really great guy, and he's a nice guy. But the reality is that he's a jerk, and he just covers it up so that nobody sees it. Because God forbid he's embarrassed and he's shamed by his own bad behavior. I could go on and on and on. And the reason I even brought this up, okay, so I have to share this story. All right. So I recently, like in the last few weeks, signed up on Match.com. And, because I live in Podunk, Texas, and there's not anybody. And if you saw the pictures of some of the people that are on there, you would be like, even on the dating site, it's scary. It's like, oh my God, could you like trimmed your whiskers up before you posted that on there? I mean, that's like, wait, I got out of bed. I'm going to take my picture and post that picture on Match, and maybe somebody will like me. Really? Seriously? That's the best you got? Anyway. So I was talking to this guy, just like 2 or 3 messages back and forth. And he was like, well, I don't really like, texting on here. So here's your phone number. Call me and we can talk. And I immediately responded that I wasn't going to call him and I wasn't going to give him my phone number because we only exchanged like 3 messages. And one of them was, here's my number. This man literally spent 3 to 4 days trying to convince me that it would be better to talk on the phone. And I just kept coming back and saying, okay, but maybe we could talk here and I could get to know you a little bit and I would feel more comfortable in moving it to the next step. And he gave me a bunch of side-handed insults and guilt. Let's see. He said that it was childish to be on the app. He said that, well, there's not anything unsafe about me having your phone number. I don't know. I mean, there was a guilt one in there. I mean, it was just these. And I just kept saying, well, if you just talk to me, about things other than me giving you my phone number, then maybe we will talk enough and I would give you my phone number. The man was freaking dense. I swear to God, he was dense. So today, I was already kind of playing with him. And today I just was like, dude, it ain't ever going to happen. This is my opinion of you. You are like self-centered, and I have expressed what I think and what I feel, and you have completely ignored it because all you want is your agenda. And since I'm not meeting your agenda, you aren't having it. And it's like, so, oh yeah, he called me a scammer. Maybe I need to make that be my little handle, like Rita the scammer. Yeah. Anyway, I found it humorous and I found it really refreshing. So people that know me, people that have read my book know that I've had a really crappy relationship history. And to be able to sit there and interact with this person and just see the BS right up front and in person, I just feel blessed that I had the opportunity to see it kind of in slow motion and have that learning experience come from it. So, but again, it was pretty funny. Yeah, because I was intriguing. I was an intriguing scammer, and I should call him because I want to scam him over the phone. Or maybe because I called him, I wouldn't scam him over the phone. I don't really know. I don't really care. He couldn't hear anything I had to say. So why really pursue anything with this person? Because if he couldn't actually hear what I had to say and respect what I had to say and honor anything I had to say, then this is not a person that I want to move forward in any kind of relationship with. At all. So, his loss, because he'd get to hang out with me. Anyway, okay, I'm going to be quiet a second. Well, not really, but I would just like for you to know that if you would like to schedule a private consultation with me, please go to my website, which is soulhealer.com. Soulhealer.com. Send me a message, schedule an appointment, and we can visit one-on-one. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. It's Dr. Rita Louise on Facebook. That's Dr. Rita Louise. And you will get notified, I mean, unless I'm in Facebook jail, about the upcoming Thursday Night Lives or anything else that might be going on. And if you're a YouTube person or you're not a YouTube person, but you want to be a YouTube person, please go to my YouTube channel, which is Just Energy Radio on YouTube, and do those YouTubey things. Subscribe to the channel. If you are watching the live or the video in playback, give it a thumbs up, leave me a note, share it with your friends, even on Facebook, share it with your friends. And if you have friends or know anybody that would find benefit in coming on Thursday night and hanging out with me and you and all your friends, let them know. This is an open forum that anybody can participate, except for those psychic bot people. They don't have to come. Anyway, so I am going to change over. I'm going to say a quick hello to everybody and then kind of answer questions and comments. Okay. All right. So we have Leanne. Hey, Leanne. And Miss Veronica is here. Hey, Eric. Nice seeing you. All right. Leanne. Hi, Amber and Nina. Hey, girl. All right. So I said hello to who's in here, and I'm just going to go back up top. So Leanne, says, hello, I found you. Yay. Hey, Leanne, I'm glad that you found me as well. All right. So let's see. So Eric wants to know, what's the difference between being confident and being a narcissist? And so somebody that's confident, also has empathy, and they can hear what other people say and take that into consideration. Many times, we're talking about a higher vibrating person. So I consider myself, for the most part, pretty confident, but I also can hear what you have to say, make adjustments to me, or come up with a compromise. And with somebody that's a narcissist, there is no compromise, because you are less than, and you are not as smart as, and you are not, and you are not. And so there's this whole mental attitude of, I'm better, I'm bigger, I'm smarter than all of you other lowly people on the planet who can't possibly keep up with my greatness. Now, if you're a covert narcissist, there is the possibility that there is this self-deprecating aspect to their personality where they actually are very capable and competent, but they kind of put it out there like they suck, but then you feel bad for them, that they have all this stuff going on, and so then you just want to help them and give to them and be their enabler, because they kind of can't see their way out of the paper bag. There's just so many moving parts in this whole dynamic. And what's scary is, in recent days, we have created a generation of narcissists. The whole no kid left behind. Everybody wins. Nobody has grades for their performance. So I could work really hard and get nothing, and I could do nothing and get the same exact nothing. And so we're training them to not put any effort in or not do anything that's productive. But then they expect to get the award and get the trophy. I had a client. I'm sorry, I'm just going to kind of stay here for a minute. I had a client whose husband went to mechanic school. So he was a AFC, I don't know, whatever the thing is, certified mechanic. And he got a job working at a dealership, actually a pretty nice dealership in Dallas. And he was doing oil changes, making pretty decent money for having been out of just getting out of school. And after 3 months, I mean, I heard this story and I just shook my head like, are you kidding me? After 3 months, he went, and I don't remember if it was his supervisor or if he went to the dealership owner person and told them about things they should change within the company. I mean, even if it's the supervisor, it's like, dude, you've been here for 3 freaking months and you got out of school 4 months ago and you have the gall to come over to me and tell me how we need to change. He got fired. Oops. And then they don't understand. They don't understand why somebody might have that kind of reaction to them. All right. Veronica says, I was married to that guy. Oh no, Veronica, I've been married to multiple of them. All right, so now Eric's saying those damn internet relationships never work out. But you know what, Eric? One of the things that I'm finding already very quickly is it's giving me the opportunity to practice my boundaries and sorting out this crap and holding my energy and not getting sucked into it. So far, so good. So far, it's been actually really great. And Eric, you live around here. I mean, who the hell am I going to find living where I do? Really? Anyway, that's my commentary. I mean, unless you know somebody that's really freaking hot and smart and you know, just putting it out there. Okay. I'm saying, so Leanne says, that's how I am. I feel like giving your phone number right away is a big no-no. Well, I mean, that's what I think too, Leanne. I mean, I could see, well, okay. So one, I have a burner phone number, so they never really get my phone number. But in turn, they also don't get my name because you know who I am. You kind of know, like you know my first name and you can find me. I mean, I live in a small town. If you know what I do and you know where I live, you can find me. So I am like super, super cautious. I have an alternate email address. I mean, it's like layer upon layer of protection. And if there had been some kind of fun or friendly exchange with this guy, maybe, because I am protected. But there was nothing, anything. And it's like, I'm telling you, 4 days of him wanting my phone number and wanting me to call because this is immature. And I just want to talk to you so we can get to know each other. And how do you expect to get to meet anybody if, you won't give them your number? Anyway. All right, so Leanne is back. This dude told me it was immature to be texting. He couldn't be consistent. Hey, maybe it was the same guy because he told me that too. Okay, so you got another one. Scam for what? I have no idea. I mean, it's right up there with why I was in Facebook jail. I mean, now I could see if I was trying to get personal information from him or trying to get him on the phone to move things forward, so then I could ask him for money, but I wasn't. But I wasn't. It was like I didn't even want to go there. So anyway, yeah. Okay, so see, Eric, you just kind of freaked me out. Yeah, it's like Rita.com. So there was a day. See, we're all buds in here and everything, and like you're not gonna like want to date me. I don't think. I don't know if you do, and you're hot. and you got a lot of money, maybe. I mean, you're not married and you don't have too many weird issues and you're not a narcissist, maybe. Anyway, Eric, there was a time when my kids were young. So one of them had this like online journal thing, and he would go on there and go, my stepmom Rita, my stepmom Rita, Rita this, Rita that. So, and I tried not to read it, but then I went on Google and typed Rita, Texas, and I came up like that. Then Hurricane Rita happened, and so I kind of dropped off, and then Google changed its algorithm. But I don't live in Dallas anymore. I live in freaking Podunk, Texas. So, it's just a lot easier. And being on an online site, you just don't know what kind of weirdo, creepy people there are. I mean, I've already met, this guy I played with, and he seemed harmless, but I've already had an encounter with some like weirdo, creepy guy who came off as being really super cool until the 11th hour, and then he got creepy, and that was the end. Anyway. All right, so see, now Amber wants me to be all freaking serious. Could you please tell me about my career if I'll be changing positions soon? Oh, Amber, but I was having so much fun talking about stupid relationship stuff. All right, hang on. All right, so Amber, I'm getting just a lot of, I'm going to say, static or confusion. So let me ask you this question. Are you looking to change jobs? Because with your question, I was just looking for changes in the company, but I'm kind of not feeling that. I'm feeling more of your discontent with the company and more confusion on your part. So if you could clarify that, because then I'm going to look at your question from a slightly different angle. Okay, thank you. Hey, Nina. Okay, so Veronica got a question. Had a shrink accuse me of doctor shopping a while back, like I was looking for type 2 scripts. Was she serious or just trying to get rid of me? Um, no, I get the impression that she was serious. I get the impression that she has had a lot of people come through her office that's what they're doing. I know that that's not what you were doing, um, but she just kind of automatically puts that on there. When I was married to my late husband, he had he had been diagnosed with a pneumonia. It sort of cleared up, came back, got diagnosed with a pneumonia again. Um, they sent him home with all of this stuff, and the doctor said if it gets any worse, you need to just go to the hospital. And so it is freaking Easter Sunday, and now his chest hurts. It's just really bad. We go to the hospital, they take an x-ray, and they're like, well, he has a pneumonia. And it's like, okay. And he couldn't help it, but he was allergic to all the sulfa drugs. So uh, hydrocodone, any of those kind of things he couldn't take because he was allergic. Literally, he had a list that he walked around with of drug allergies. And they just looked at him like he was drug seeking, and then he had this rash on his back, and they were like, oh, well, that looks like it's going to become shingles. And they gave him some medication for that. And didn't do anything about the rib pain he had, which was really bad. So they just send us off again with more medication for pneumonia. And a couple of weeks later, And they like didn't even want to give him morphine, but I mean, he was just in a lot of pain, and they gave him nothing. Um, so a couple of weeks later, he started coughing up blood. Went to his primary doctor, and so not the hospital people. They do a CAT scan. He's diagnosed. Well, he's not diagnosed with cancer, but it was cancer. I already knew that. The rash on his back had to do with the cancer, and the rib pain he had was he had fractured some ribs from coughing. But they didn't really want to deal with him, and they didn't want to, you know what I mean? They just thought he was drug seeking and sent us on our way. And he was dead less than 2 months later. I never paid the hospital bill. It was like, screw you, wrong, 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 wrong. So yeah, there are doctors that are out there that's their mentality of people, is that you're out there drug seeking. Can't help their thoughts. All right, so Amber wants to know, how's the weather there? The storms have passed us for now. So they keep talking about, like tornadoes and storms, and I've gotten nothing other than, a lot of humidity. I even sweated yesterday. Sweat? Okay. But yeah, not really anything where I'm at. Eric says, hey, yell at my dad. I don't have a brother. Yeah, but you got to have friends. Oh, wait a minute. We're friends. All right, never mind. All right. Oh, no, it's Kim. She's sneaking in. No. Hi, Kim. So Veronica says, maybe that guy was a Nigerian scammer. No, he was a stupid white guy. He just really didn't understand that he was dealing with me, and I was like so far out of his league, Stupid guy, stupid man. And yeah, he's in Texas too. That is correct. In the fairly regional area. All right, so Lacey, I love you. Thank you. No, I am not a medium. I don't talk to dead people. I mean, every so often they will show up as part of a session, but I choose not to engage with dead people unless they're at your house and I'm there on a ghost hunting thing, which is a totally different story. But I appreciate you for asking, but no. Okay, so Leanne, I've already talked about him bad, and so I'm going to save his self-respect and not share his name. And so Amber says, totally agree with this. Okay, so this is about the job, making sure I'm secure in my position. Perfect. That was okay. Amber, I'm getting I think it would be to your best benefit to go ahead and get your resume put together, maybe start looking, I don't feel like it's gonna shift today, and I'm not getting 100% that anything is going to happen to you. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of movement happening. And I feel like this guy, and correct me if I'm wrong, either they have put this one guy in charge or they're looking at putting this one guy in charge. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of movement that's happened that has not been disclosed to people. I'm kind of feeling like he has been moved into play. But if he gets moved into place, and I'm pretty sure you know who this is, so please fill me in. If he gets put into place, that's when I would sit there and start looking. And not that they would necessarily get rid of you, but that you won't like it there. And I would rather you go to be somewhere that you like it versus hanging on to being somewhere that you hate. All right, let's see. So Leanne wants to know me what questions she should ask me. Um, Leanne, you can ask about anything, like not about dead people and not like talking about the future unless it's kind of shrouded in some bigger question. Um, but really, it could be about anything. So Veronica says this is about the drug seeking. That is so sad. It is sad. And and it's sad that people are that way, and people are drug seeking. Um, that doctors have to have that kind of hard outlook on it, also, where they won't give you anything. I mean, I had hurt my back and it hurt bad, bad. But I had to go to my primary in order to get a referral to the chiropractor, and I went to just the local doc in a box place, and they gave me freaking tramadol, which I don't know. I could take aspirin for how good that stuff works. So when I went to my regular primary, I asked him for something. He goes, "Well, I can give you tramadol," and I'm like, "Can't you give me something just a little stronger?" And he looked at me, and I've been his patient for a while, and he goes, "I'll do that." He goes, "They really don't want us to prescribe anything stronger." He goes, "But, we've worked together for a while, and I don't think you'll abuse it." And it's like, look, I just need to sleep, and I just need to be able to move around somewhat. That would be good, moving. Yeah. All right, so Amber's back to weather. We've only gotten thunderstorms, but nothing like they were making it seem. Amber, I haven't even gotten thunderstorms in the last 2 days or any rain in the last 2 days. In fact, yesterday I mowed my lawn and I was talking to someone again fairly local, and they said they got an inch, but then I guess in like Gilmer and Canton, kind of in that strip, they got like 8 inches of rain and tornadoes and all kinds of crazy stuff. Or at least that's what they were saying. Whether they actually got that or not, I don't really know. All right, so Kim's just, I'm not even going to put your name up there, Kim. She's just hiding in the background laughing. Oh, we got Cindy in the house. Hey, girl, I guess you're home from the gym. All right. So, Veronica, remember me talking about a biofilm? Has it budged any? Um, so I am feeling like it is still there. I feel like it is thinner, but it is not totally gone. Kind of the feeling I get with biofilm is it just takes a while, because it's underneath, you know, I mean, any kind of issue sits underneath the biofilm, and there's always a certain level of mucus that sits in that tissue, and then the biofilm, and then if there's any kind of infection that sits underneath it. And so I feel like all of it is kind of thinning itself out and kind of moving into the background, but no, I don't feel like it's all gone. All right, so Leanne says, you see what? All right, Leanne, I'm not quite sure about your question. Do and I'm a little dyslexic, so sometimes reading screws me up, but I think this is like dyslexic on my dyslexic. Do you see what all be doing, career or sales? All right, Leanne, can you rephrase that? Because, yeah, rephrase, please. Oh, and Veronica said, it's so sad about your husband. It was sad about my husband. So, but, actually, it'll be 10 years this year in August. All right. So Kim says, I'm here supporting you. Thank you, Kim. Love you. All right. So Leanne says, it seems like most readers can't see what I will be doing. It's a big surprise. I'm thinking of acting in online retail sales. Okay. All right. So Leanne, and I'm going to speak to this very specifically. Okay. So all right, and this is how it works for me. Maybe this isn't how it works for everybody, but I'm kind of figuring this is how it works for everybody. So when there's something that we have emotionally committed to, and we are taking the steps or actions, even if it's in a very hardcore planning phase, and we are energizing our space with, this is what I'm going to do, and these are the steps that I'm going to take, and blah, blah, blah. We can see that in a person's face. But if you're just kind of throwing stuff up in the air and going, well, tell me what you think, there's nothing to latch onto. There's no emotional energy happening in you. There are no concrete thoughts happening in you to go, is this a good plan or is this not a good plan? Or, with what you want to do and with the energy I see, are there going to be any obstacles? I mean, because there's nothing to work with because it's not grounded in you. It's like you want them to tell you what to do. And I'm going to say to you, you need to open yourself up and ask your higher self and ask God and whatever, what should I be doing? What will work for me? Um, Period. Leanne, I don't know how old you are, so I don't want to be insulting. But if you want to share that, then I might make a stronger point here. Um, so even your comment, I'm going to stick with you here a minute. So even your comment of, I'm thinking about acting and doing retail sales, it's like, I don't even see any commitment with that. I mean, I just feel like you're just kind of throwing it out there, but retail sales of what? Retail sales working for another company, and doing sales for them. Do you have any retail sales experience? I mean, I end up with more questions than I get answers from your energy space, because you're kind of waiting for somebody to validate you and tell you what to do. All right. Okay. Okay, so you have the merchandise. Okay, so Leanne says, just did have the merchandise. Yes, I was doing it before. Okay. I'm really looking here, Leanne. Um, okay, so I mean, I'm really not getting anything particularly strong from you, because I don't get that there's a hardcore commitment from you. So if you were doing this before and you have the merchandise, then why aren't you doing it now? I don't know. You're just leaving me very confused about your whole situation. Thinking about going back into it. I mean, did you like what you were doing? Oh, did you like doing the sales stuff and the merchandising? I mean, if it's something that brought you joy, and or a lot of money, or joy and a lot of money, then I say go for it. Um, I just get the impression that okay, sorry, the dog next door is barking, and it just kind of caught my attention there for a second. Um, I just get the impression that even doing the retail stuff would just be like, I'm just not noticing a lot of enthusiasm from you. Like, you just want it to be easy. If I show up with my stuff, and people should just buy it, and have it be easy. Um, and it can work that way, but that's not really how I've seen it work for most people to have it be something successful. All right, so Cindy said, and Gabby's out, so I'm hoping Gabby isn't like out running the streets, um, being a bad Gabby. So anybody, so that was the bottom of the list. Anybody else have any questions for me this evening? Oh. So Leanne, did this help at all? I mean, I feel like I just kind of like skirted around your question and skirted around your issue, but what I see in your space, okay, and I'm just going to kind of focus this in a different direction. What I see in your space is that it would just be easier for you to go work for somebody else, and then you don't have to have the responsibility of running a business, and you just show up and you do your thing and you go home, and maybe that's where you're at right now, is doing that, and if doing the business is a side thing, have it be a side thing. But I don't get the impression that, at least at this point in time, you have the drive and motivation to make a personal business be your primary source of income. I hope that makes sense. Maybe I finally gave you some kind of answer. Okay, so Cindy, Eric, Kim, Veronica, Amber, Leanne. Oh, we just talked to Leanne. Nina, no questions from you today. Any last questions? Because if there are no questions, then I am going to freaking cut out. Okay, Veronica's back. Question: wonder if the man I spoke about personal stuff with this afternoon is trustworthy. I don't get the impression that they're okay. I'm going to say no. And Veronica, I'm saying no for a very specific reason. I feel like you have pretty good radar. And I feel like if this person had bad energy and bad mojo and there was like something weird going on, that you would feel it and you would kind of back off and not really engage. And so it's not something that I would really worry about. Because you would just feel uncomfortable. And, oh, wait, there's the question. You would just feel uncomfortable and just wouldn't want to, you wouldn't put it out there, but you felt comfortable enough to share that information with this person. So I think it's okay. So Nina says, life is good. Thank you for thinking about me. Okay, thank you for coming, Nina. It's always nice to see your name in the chat. All right, guys, it's been a long day for me, and I think I am just going to go ahead and bug out for tonight. So one last time, if you'd like to schedule a private consultation with me, please go to my webpage, soulhealer.com. Don't forget to like my Facebook page, Dr. Rita Louise on Facebook, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be here again next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're watching this in a rerun type fortune, please do come and join us and get your questions answered. Love to have you. Would totally love to have you. So until next time, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. Be blessed.